everybody, I hope you're doing great. These 3 sessions were pretty cool. I'm gonna summarize that up quickly for you right now, but stay tuned till the end of this video because on the day 26, Tony gives you a personal challenge which will last 4 days, which means the next video I'm gonna publish is gonna be the final video out of this all 30-day challenge. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, let's just get started then. Day 24 talks about the power of successful relationships. I find this very attractive topic, especially because I feel most of us take for granted when it comes to knowledge and what we think the other person really needs to feel loved and this kind of stuff. We just act, I think, more intuitively when it comes to relationships and love. And I don't think it's right. I think like everything, to make it, you know, for a long term and to commit, I think you should sit down and analyze and, you know, try to grow, see things from their perspective and stuff like that. So this is why I really like this state. He goes on by telling you 2 primary ways why relationships fail. 1, the law of familiarity. That means like in the beginning, everything is rainbows and butterflies. You do everything as best as you can in order to make the other person feel attracted and in love with you and, you know, be happy and this kind of stuff. But then with time, the enthusiasm kind of decreases. You start to creating negative anchors and conflicts and debates arise. He does give you though 2 ways to kind of like prevent these negative anchors. For example, it's just not to focus on the other person while you're in a negative state, and B, also don't let the arguments get out of control. What you can do is, for example, sit down with your partner and find like, you know, a pattern that you can develop. For example, when you're both screaming or something and you're like in a very negative state, one of you at least has to do a certain pattern, like, I don't know, whisper in each other's ear, like something specific that makes you guys feel good or something like that. Just develop a pattern so that, you know, whenever you're in that very intense state, you can break it off with this thing that you both agreed on. Second reason why a lot of relationships might break is also because we fail to consistently meet the strategies of love and attraction that each partner has. Now, we all have unique triggers when it comes to love. For example, a person might buy a lot of gifts to her girlfriend, let's say, and you know, show in his way all this love, but she doesn't feel loved because her rule for feeling loved, it's for him to say a specific thing, to say more I love you, or, you know, to give a certain hug or whatever. So it's really crucial to understand what your partner really wants, not just what you think they want. Sit down and analyze and talk about this. Like, you know, you can ask to your partner, what is the best and the time when you feel most loved by me, and just by their answers you will start to understand, you know, what they really want. Tony goes on and gives all these tips on how to make your relationship last. I don't have time for all of that, but all you need to know after you've gained awareness, because we said, you know, the awareness is a major point that most of us don't know, that there's all these ways to better off relationships and all these tools. Once you have the awareness, all you need to know is that the quality of your relationship comes down only to the quality of the commitment you have to make it work. Like, think about it. If you're not committed, you're not gonna sit there with your partner and talk about all these ways and patterns and things to better off your relationship. You're just gonna sit there and, you know, be like, oh, if it lasts, it lasts. If not, it's not meant to be. Stuff like that, you know? So if you're really committed, you will make things work, even for future problems that might arise. So I think that's a great tip. But let's go to the assignment part. It's divided in 3 points. First one, identify and write down exactly what you want in a relationship and what you don't want. Again, one of those intuitive stuff. How many of us has actually sit down and write like in detail what we want from our partner? I want this and that, and I want this and that from my relationship. I don't think a lot of us, but I do think it's a very crucial exercise. 2, identify what the relationship needs to be for you to be happy with yourself and to contribute in it in a more effective way. And 3, develop a list of unique things you can do together to enhance your relationship on an ongoing basis. Again, we can get caught up with life and work and stuff and lose like the spark. If you write down this kind of stuff, even when you forget and you don't know what to do, you can just look back at it and just, you know, have more exciting love life. Anyway, I'm gonna continue to the next point because time is clicking. Day 25 was called How to Solve Problems Effectively and Quickly. It was actually the shortest tape out of all the days I've done so far, but a lot of cool content. He gives you a lot of rules and patterns you can implement in your life in order to deal better with problems, he suggests you, for example, to use this rule that 20% of your time maximum should be spent with defining and thinking about the problem, and 80% of it should be totally devoted to the solution. And he talks about all these other things and like asking better questions, for example, questions like what would happen if, and like constructive ones basically. Or also he says change your beliefs about, you know, what you believe the problem is, call them instead like a challenge, and that is an opportunity for you to grow, because that's actually the truth. But the best part and that I will use out of this tape is that he has created 5 problem-solving questions to put yourself in a positive, resourceful state for finding effective solutions. A, what is great about this problem? Like when you actually are in a problem, think about this. 2, what is not perfect yet? 3, what am I willing to do to make it the way I want it? 4, what am I willing to not longer do in order to make it the way I want it? And 5, how can I enjoy the process while I do what is necessary to make it the way I want? Day 26 was called My Personal Challenge to You. We get it, Tony, you're challenging and I am too. He says a lot of general tips in it, full with resourceful content, but the assignment is basically that during the next 4 days, you have to review 25 days that you have already done and do any assignments or other work that you haven't done by now. I have lots of work because I haven't done a lot of them, at least not fully, so that is good. And also pick 4 top goals. He really just wants you to define more what really these top 4 goals are and design an action plan, because you got so much information from all these days that you really have the tools to make anything that you want happen. So yeah, anyway guys, I have a lot of work to do these 4 days, but I'm so excited because in the next episode I am gonna share with you the end of this journey and the beginning of a new one. So super excited about that. Stay tuned and thank you for watching this video. I love you, and yeah, see you on the next one. Stay awesome. Bye bye. Your cells will be weak, your energy will be weaker, and you'll eventually die. So yeah, but on a positive note, you have the power of breath. In fact, your breath is the control button to the mechanism that controls your circulatory system.